Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Hello and welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. This is our off-air podcast that we do 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you're listening, if you're watching, you are a part of the Platypus Posse. That's what we call our Uncensored listeners, fam members. Also, check out Miguel and Holly Full Show podcast, Queen City Confessions, Blown Off, and leave us a rating. And check out our YouTube channel. Lots of fun content there. Kelbin.
Yes.
You were in Georgia this weekend getting your marriage license.
I was.
How was that?
It was a time. Yeah. When we got there, I really just wanted to get it done. And my fiance was like, no, we have to go support our niece, go to her track race. I really don't know what she was doing. And I don't know the difference between 1,600 meters and whatever that is. But we were there in the freaking cold for like 3 hours. And so we woke up real early the next day, did our marriage license. And honestly, I thought I was going to be hate crimed a little bit, thought I was going to be looked at, stared at. It was such an easy process. You go in, you sign a paper, you show them your license. That's it. Nothing special, nothing. But it's great. I prefer that over chaos.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
Nobody wants chaos.
Yeah, it's when we got our marriage license in Florida, I'm like, that. What an interesting job, because the people that were in the place where we got us, they were all like so smiley and just so like, congratulations, here's your marriage license. And I'm like, oh, you get to be like the officiant of love and help facilitate it. So it's really sweet.
I love that.
Yeah. Sorry.
Did you get people coming in?
Yeah.
Are they coming in? Oh.
Oh.
Hi. We got some high ups from a business
need to go
here.
in. We're just waiting.
No, it's okay.
Y'all don't need to
All
come
right.
in.
No, don't come in.
Yeah,
Anyway.
some people.
But anyways, yeah, that was great. And then when we were done with doing all that paperwork, we went back home. We started to rearrange stuff. What's really sweet, my mother-in-law, she is, I guess, as a gift to us, which I kind of LOL'd at her saying this, but she was like, as my gift to you, we're going to revamp the backyard. We're going to add a bunch of flowers and plants so it looks great for the wedding day. And I was like, that's very sweet. I was like, girl, but that's your backyard. But it's still very sweet either way.
I kind of feel like they're the own recipients of that
100%.
good deed. I mean, that's kind of the bare minimum. Like, you kind of got to make your backyard look good anyway, but that's fine.
But I'll take it. It's super sweet. She could not do it.
Right.
And then when we do the wedding, it might look really bare.
Looks ramshackle.
So I'm glad that she's doing it. We're super sweet of her. And I told her I would add on some more flowers too, because she gets full sunlight. So it's going to be all the colorful flowers. Hopefully the deers don't eat them.
Oh.
Yeah. Are we planting, or are you just adding day of? Like,
planting. I mean, she already started.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, we'll just see. Also, the forecast is showing that there might be rain that day. So,
we are still too far out to know.
I'm about to say,
things change up till the day of.
We never know. It could be a perfect sunny day. And you know what? Even if it does rain, that's supposed to be good luck. If it does rain on your wedding day. So
I have heard that. And I also just feel like it's something that people say to make people who get rained on wedding days feel better.
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, just so we're all on the same page.
100%. Well, it's just because you don't want something that's out of your control to ruin the day.
Right.
And so it's like, why not put a positive spin on it?
Yeah.
It's good luck.
Yeah.
I just remembered it rained at my future sister-in-law's wedding. And I forgot that it did until right now. It was a beautiful day and it did rain. During one part, we were outside and my hair got totally frizzed up. It lost everything that I had done to it, but I didn't even remember until right now, because I was like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. You're not even going to remember, probably. It's just the wedding. The only thing I remember was that it was a good time. It was beautiful and a lot of love.
Ours was just cold the day of, which I kind of wanted it to be not like cold like it was.
You didn't want it to be that cold.
I was like, oh God, when we walked outside and you saw everybody like shivering and they had like blankets for everybody, but they didn't bring out some heaters. But I was like,
They should have brought them heaters out real earlier, because like what would they do with those heaters? They're like hiding them.
They're like, sorry about you.
Like I bought myself an extra jacket because I was like, oh no.
That's what we're looking at now. Probably going to IKEA and maybe getting a few. blankies.
Yeah.
That might be it. I see. That's cozy.
Mm-hmm.
What is it supposed to be like? I mean, never mind the rain, yes or no, but what's the temperature average over there?
Probably an average of like maybe the highest 70, but we're
Okay.
probably going to predict something less than that.
Right.
So yeah, we're thinking about that. We're thinking about getting some space heaters just to have and then return when we're done. So yeah, we're thinking about that. Anything else? We brought all of our decorations that we've had in our office now into their garage, so that's all done and packed away.
Oh,
That's good.
And then we started staging, and by staging, like I guess deciding where we're going to be doing the ceremony. I'm very much let's do it away from the table because I don't want the dinner table to be in the background of our photos, but the way that everything is spaced out, the way that the backyard is set up, I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm just trying to let go. Let God, let whoever.
And look, you could always edit that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
And you know what? Who cares if it's in there? No one's gonna be like, God, look at these crappy wedding photos. You can see a hamburger in the background. My God. Like, now one single person will think that. I think that's one of the coolest things is that, like, the day of, you just let it go.
Yeah.
Like, I remember everyone was freaking out behind the scenes because my mom, when I, walked her down, or she escorted me down the aisle, and then I put her down, and then she like kissed my cheek, but some of her lipstick got on my collar. And after the ceremony, you would have thought that like my mom had like ripped my jacket open and my pants. Our wedding planner was like, ah! And so they had to like go get some club soda. They were getting this, and I was just like,
people were running around like chickens with their head cut off.
And the whole time I was like, y'all, I don't care. Like, it was a beautiful moment.
It was.
And it was like, it's my mom's lipstick. It's fine. I'm not stressed about it. But everybody else was like, no, it's got to be perfect. I was like, no.
I know. I've kind of turned into a little bridezilla. Not in like a bad way. There hasn't been that many arguments, but there have been little finicky things that I've been like, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want this. And then Oscar's like, what the fuck? Like, I've given you majority of this wedding. Like, if I want, why? And I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Wait, so what was the most recent thing
and
that you
I
had
don't
to
know how you're going to be
with?
like, I was kind of a bridezilla, but not like a bad one.
What
does that mean?
That
like, is there a good
means-
bridezilla?
There is. You need somebody who's going to be on top of like aesthetics and making sure that we are on top of our schedule. And if we are not, who's doing what? Assigning people things. He's not. He is all like lackadaisy about this. And that's great. Up until the point where we actually do need to tell people what to do. Like some of our friends have jobs to do. So, this past weekend, I think the main thing was I found this swing set on Amazon for desserts. And I really want it. It's so cute. It's like
it's small, like for a tabletop.
It's for a tabletop. It's probably like, I don't know, I can't show you, but it carries like 3 rows of stuff, and then in the center of it, there's a big old pole, and there's a little swinging little thing where you can put something else there.
That's cute.
So it's really cute, and we're kind of keeping it, eucalyptus, disco ball, and like woodsy kind of theme, right? So whites and greens and those kind of vibes. And then Oscar's like, hey, I went to IKEA and I got these. It looks like I got these black, like I don't know what to call them. They're dessert trays, and they were black. And I was like, but that's not what I told you we needed to get. We were going to get the swings. And he was like, yeah, but we're also going to get wooden logs where we're going to put the cake on it to give it that like little woodsy look. He's like, but I think adding black would actually be good to like accentuate everything and, with the decorations. And I was like, he was like,
is it the only thing that's black?
That would be the only thing that's black. And then he was like, if we add the wooden things, it would all be wood and it would all be different. It would look kind of weird. And I was like, I don't think that's aesthetically cute. And I guess I was just too honest. So that became a discussion.
What did he say? Was he like,
not like that, but he was just like, hey, like, I personally, like, you always tell me you trust me with the aesthetics for things. I'm telling you, hey, we should do this. And then you're telling me no. I've given you the majority of the wedding of what we wanted to do. Like, I'm telling you that we should do this. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You know what? It's fucking dessert. Who cares?
Right.
People are bet you half of it's not even going to be eaten.
Right.
I know. And I'm overspending right now on dessert. but I also don't want to ever be at a point where, hey, we don't have enough dessert. So I'm buying so many different kinds of desserts, and I just want it to look pretty. And like, who fucking cares? I'm not having like the most bougie wedding of all time. I want things to be perfect, but they don't need to be. So I'm just little by little, I'm letting go. 2 weeks away.
Remind me, because I feel like we've talked about this, but I forgot. Is it you don't have a cake? You have what?
So we have a dessert bar, but we do have a cake. Like we got a little probably like the smaller version of the nothing bun cake, because I don't like wedding cake. I really don't. But we're gonna decorate it, obviously, and make it look cute. And then I'm gonna be making cookie butter dessert cups, which is super easy. We got the mini buntinis. We also got cake pops, thanks to Small Cakes. And then my cousin, actually, I was going to order these really well-known, famous cinnamon rolls from South Florida. They're like well-known, super popular. They're called the Nosberry cinnamon rolls, and they're so fucking delicious. On Goldbelly, there's this website that apparently you can like order viral food from different places. And I looked at the prices, and it was $80 for like 24 of them. And that's not what they fucking cost at all.
Well, they're gonna jack it up. Wait a second, gotta do that math. Hold on.
Yeah, because I think I looked into that one Christmas a few years ago to get ordering some food from Buffalo, New York, because Abe is always like, I missed this and that. I looked into it and I was like, oh hell no, you can just go up there because it's way too expensive.
It's probably cheaper to fly out there and get it.
Literally.
And then I was
$3 a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
they're cheaper in person.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways is that, like, if you are getting married, and this is for anybody, you, Kelbin, anybody, if you have to question if you want to spend money on it, like, don't. Because there's this big, I don't know how to call it, figurine. It was like baby's breath, cloud machete thing that they had in the reception area for our wedding, and we sort of went back and forth on if we wanted to spend the money on it. And I was kind of like, that's an extra like $600 that people may or may not see, or they may not, or they may just think it's part of the room and not something special. But thankfully, Florist Fire, I believe, is the florist we use in Tampa. She basically gave it to us because we were spending so much money, so it was super nice. But I'm like, I'm so glad we didn't spend that money on it, because it was like maybe 3 people were like, wow, that's really cool. But like, I made sure that Ryan put it in the video, so at least we had it there. Like, at least that we won't forget that we would have spent money on that. But like, that's something that really is. I love that. Yeah. So don't, if you got to stress about it, don't do it.
I was just like, the point was, hey, we're not getting a big wedding cake. And like, those are pretty expensive if you get them done. So we did all these other things to kind of like cut costs. But at this point, like, all the things I'm buying, it's probably going to amount to the same.
Right.
But when I was talking to my cousin about this yesterday, she has a huge sweet tooth. And she was telling me, like, so what are the desserts? What's going on? And I was like, oh, we're still deciding on this last bit. I think we want to do cookies. I don't know Atlanta like that. So I don't know. Maybe crumble. I'm not a big fan of it, but everybody seems to like it. And she was like, no. She was like, you pick a good spot, I will pay for the cookies. And I was like, bitch.
Oh.
Yes! I found some place called Sugar Shane's, and it looks so good. I went up on their Instagram. They have like 44K followers.
You said Sugar Shane?
Sugar Shane's. Girl, look it up. And then she was like, okay, well, what do you want? And I was like, well, the 24 pack, girl.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's what you want. And I was like, that's what I want. Because normally I feel bad. I'm like, no, maybe you should get half a dozen. No, I want the full dessert platter. And it looks so good.
Oh, does that say slutty cookie?
Yes.
I want anything that's called a slutty cookie, girl.
Wait a minute. Are these thick?
Yes.
Thick
look how
cookies?
fat they are.
That's some thick ass cookies.
Yeah.
Oof, look at that.
Oh
Wait, so what sort of?
goodness.
Ooh, Kelvin, tell me what kind of cookies.
Well, I don't know, because this is weird, right? On their ordering thing, it says 12. So the dessert platter comes with 12 chocolate chip cookies, which already they're fat and delicious looking. And then they said the other 12 would be an assortment of other desserts, but they have so many things. They have like,
they got this thing called a crookie.
yes.
Oh my God, it's a
croissant cookie.
flaky pastry embedded with gooey chocolate chips. I want it.
They got brownies.
Oh yeah.
brown butter walnut cookie,
Go to the order now.
honey nut Cheerio bar.
Yes, girl. I
Wait
don't
a
know.
damn second.
Wait, where is or? I see. Okay.
Right there, girl. You know where to order.
Which
I'm
you know
on
what?
the.
Pick
I'm
up,
sorry. I'm on the
Midtown.
Instagram. I'm not even trying to. I'm just looking at all of there.
Midtown. Yeah, right there.
That's the gay area, Midtown.
They
Oh,
put
yeah,
a
yes.
whole ass Oreo cookie into this cookie.
And then you can go to Sugar's Dozen and it'll tell you the flavors.
Oh, look at that.
Cookies and cream.
Chocolate chip, cheesecake brownie. Ooh.
Y'all did the wrong. That you should have gone to their Instagram. They have a picture of this cookies and cream, and it looks like they cut it in half, and then they put both halves because that's how thick it is. And there's like a whole ass Oreo inside this cookie.
Yes.
Mm.
I don't even know how they did it, but
So that's definitely stealing the show, which is okay. It's fine. I love that.
cheesecake brownie.
Cheesecake brownie.
Are you
What
gonna
is
bring some back?
happening?
I can try. Yeah.
If you
definitely.
have like a leftover or two.
Yes.
ooh,
Look at that, girl.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh. Look
Scor-
at that Nutella chip bar.
Where is it? 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 Where is
The
it?
Virgo, under Virgo.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh yes.
Betty
The
White.
Libra, the Oreo pie. Ooh.
I just don't want to
look
beach.
Look at my Capricorn. Got that Reese's pie.
Yes. Ooh, this looks good. I want the Taurus cookies and cream.
No, girl.
If you have a cookies and cream, girl, just save me one, please. That's just one.
I will be thinking of you. Yes,
He said he's not going to save it, but he's going to think about you.
I will
Right.
be like you. So yeah. So I don't know. The part of their dessert platter is like 12 chocolate chip and then 12 assorted desserts, and I was like, I don't know if I like that because I'm gonna
Yes.
put in the instructions. Hey, like this is for a wedding. Could they
Mm.
please just be uniform? Doesn't all have to be 12 of the
Oh.
same, but like if you're gonna do one brownie, like can you make it two? Can you make the other one two? The other one two,
Mhm.
or three, or three, or three?
Or maybe just make it all cookies
Sure.
instead of
Mm.
assorted.
Sure, I'm okay with that. I mean,
Yeah.
all their other stuff looks good though.
Oh my god, look at those.
Well,
chocolate
yeah.
chip- Oh, look
no,
at
I
that.
agree.
Yeah,
I'm
girl.
saying like none of it looks bad,
Because-
but
Miguel,
They would just melt in your. Okay, I need to click
is
off
that
of
something? What's in your?
this.
all right. You know what? I'm just
You
gonna get out of
excited or
here.
you just
Back
trying
out of this.
Girl, let me just get out of here real quick because that looking real good. And oh, by the way, show planning thing on Wednesday we'll be starting back up our Lent challenge.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I know what two things I'm giving up two things this year, and I'm like, I'm not happy about it, but I need to. I need an intervention. It's time. So this will be my jump start.
Oh, could love a good intervention.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I feel like right now I'm just like coveting sweets because they're gonna be missing from my life for 40 days.
Oh, you're giving her
Oh!
the sweets.
Wait, but if you bring some back,
Yeah, it's over. Like, or it starts, I guess.
that's all right. I'll pay the fine for that. I'll pay it just for this.
Oh!
It's your wedding, so I gotta pay the
I
fine
do.
for that
And I
one.
would, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's if you.
If I remember, yeah, I'll remember you.
All right.
Sure.
No, don't
No,
please
he
don't think
won't.
about me once. I don't want you
even
to
think about that.
yeah, focus on the day of love.
Got it.
Now, are y'all doing a honeymoon like this year? Are you
I
gonna
haven't even planned it, to be quite honest. And honestly, my
Hmm.
my PTO is like starting to not run out, but like I don't like working that last week. I don't even want to do it. I schedule it and I don't even touch the social media as long as I get that last week done.
What
The
are you
week of
talking about?
like just my PTO
Of the year?
Yeah, of the year.
Mm.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so the other days that I've been using are most likely going to be used up. I mean, we have the wedding, we have Coachella. I don't know what else is going to happen in the summer, but I'm sure I'm going to use it for my birthday.
Mm.
And after that, I don't think I'm going to have that much PTO. So I don't know, but we haven't even planned a honeymoon at all. People seem to ask us this, and I'm like, bitch, do you understand how much I'm paying right now for this wedding
Mhm.
and Coachella and all this other stuff? So I'm not even thinking about it. I think we're just going to wait till next year and do it. And I truly want to go to either Japan, Thailand, or like an all-inclusive Mexico spot.
Ooh.
Like any of that. Any of those three, I'd be super happy with, but probably next year's thing.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun. Yeah, when we got to our honeymoon, it was such a like last minute, like I think a month or two before the wedding, we were like, fuck, we need to plan the thing. And I was like, I don't want to make any more decisions. So we literally just got on our credit card travel site to use points. And I was like, all right, where's an all-inclusive resort? flights are booked through points, and then we were done. I planned nothing else because I remember like I wanted to do like a goodbye brunch or something like that at the end, but I was like, I don't want to do that because I had to plan our rehearsal dinner stuff that Friday night because our wedding planner was like, that's going to be extra if you want me to plan it. And I'm like, you're doing great. I just want you to focus on that.
Right.
So by the time I finished booking all that, I was like, girl, honeymoon is an afterthought, which was so needed. So
yeah, no, that's how I feel too. We did add something else. A lot of our friends are flying out on Sunday at like 8 p.m. Which, by the way, I'm asking off Monday.
Oh.
A lot of our friends are leaving at 8 p.m. So, and on top of that, we have to do our paperwork in the court. There's like, we won't get the official marriage certificate if our officiant, which is my mother-in-law, turns it in. She can turn it in, but we won't get the official paperwork. So that's why we have to stay an extra day. And then on top of that, our friends are all leaving at around 7, 8, or 9. So I think we're going to do a drag brunch that Sunday after the wedding.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's why you asked about. Okay, good.
Yeah, so that happened. And then my cousin also is donating some flowers as well. And by donating, she's buying some. So yeah, so pretty good weekend, pretty productive.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. Well, congratulations. It's coming together.
Yeah.
Holly, how was your weekend?
It was fine. We had my daughter's school had like a festival of sorts. And for the past, I think we were talking about this, like for the past 3 years, she's ended up being at her dad's house during this weekend. And so she was with me, which he lives farther away from the school. So, and I live closer. And I know that it's an important part of like her friends and feeling like, oh, this is special at my school. So we were there like every day starting Thursday. So like, it was a lot of that. Shout out to my friend Heather, who helped me actually doing the volunteering at the thing on Friday. And then shout out to her and also my friend Erin, who actually came and did the walk around on Saturday, but she brought her niece, which was nice because we've been trying to get these kids together. So my friend Erin has a niece that's about the same age as Maya and the same age as my stepdaughter. So she brought her, and there's the three of them having just met. And I kept telling Maya, I was like, you need to make sure you keep them with you because they don't know anybody else. They have each other, but they don't even know each other. And my stepdaughter was worried that Maya was going to leave her and run off with friends. And meanwhile, Maya's telling me, well, I don't want to have to like babysit. I want to go be with my friends. And I'm like, yes, but you can help guide. Like, it's not, your friends are nice. They're not going to be like, ew, like they're just include them, please.
Oh my gosh.
And then I had to like be on it about that because she was not.
So was she embarrassed having them with her, or was she
No, she wasn't embarrassed at all. She just wanted to be with her friends.
Right.
And like, oh my God, look at these boys. That's my crush. Is he going to ride this ride with me? And I'm just like, God. And then like, they were all going to go get a snow cone. And like, there's Maya jetting off. And the other two girls are like trying to keep up with her. And I'm like, Maya, like, come on. I'm like shouting, and I have to pull her to the side. I'm like, I told you have to wait. They don't know where you're going. And I'm just like, why is it my kid? Can you just please? Meanwhile, my stepdaughter was very nice, very helpful with Erin's niece. And so by the end of the day, though, because at one point I caught up to everybody. I only find my stepdaughter and Erin's niece. And I'm like, where's Maya? And they're like, oh, she's in the bingo tent. And I look, and there's Maya with a fucking bingo marker. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm playing bingo. I'm trying to win things. I want to win you a thing. I couldn't win you a massage, Mom. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. We don't even need you. We're going to take them around. You just whatever you want to do. So I was just over her.
Oh no. She's that teenager is starting to, it's like
the crackles are happening.
It's starting to happen. It's starting to percolate.
I know. So with my stepdaughter though, we got her to go. There's a ride that was a little wild looking. And the first, Maya wanted to go on that one first. And stepdaughter did not want to go on that one. And but then she did, and she ended up loving it, which is always what happens. We took her to Busch Gardens and the same thing happened. She's like, I don't want to go on anything, I'm scared. And then she goes on and she's like, I love it.
This is
I'm
great.
Like, trust me, I'm not going to tell you to do something insane. So we had to go on that ride 4 times. Which, after the 4th time, I was like, I'm good. I'm not going to do it anymore. But let's look at the other things that there are. So we had, that was like just a very central part of the whole weekend. It was just figuring out things. I even dropped Maya off by herself yesterday because I'm like, I'm not going to this festival.
So you're like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Bye.
So I dropped her off and she hung out with her best friend and the friend's mom. So that was good. But by the end of the day, Saturday, all 3 girls that were under like our care ended up getting along great. We got back to our house and then they were like kind of just having a fun time. And then like we had to go. And it's like, it sucks because, you know, you probably had this experience as a kid, or if you have kids, you know what this means. But like they finally start getting along and now we're all friends all of a sudden. It's time to go. So that was a bummer. However, I think that Erin's going to bring her niece and we'll all kind of try to get together again, which is nice. Nice to make new friends. So all that's going on. And then what else we didn't do much else. We did a Target run, which is always a bit of a wild adventure because my fiance like both loves and hates Target, so we'll go and he's all gung ho, but like it's documented that I talked about his bipolar disorder, and I never want to use bipolar disorder as like a funny haha or whatever because it is very serious. But sometimes, and this is not how bipolar works, but I want to be like, man, sometimes that bipolar be kicking in because he's fine at Target until he's not. And like we'll be doing stuff and he's like, oh yeah, that looks fun. That's great. And then like the switch flips and he's like, are we done? Like, what are we doing? We gotta go. And now I'm like, now you're ruining this because we were having fun and now you gotta go. Like, what are we going? He's like, we've been in this thing. We've been in the store for a long time. I'm like, well, yes, we have, but it's a very big store. And he's like, look how much money we're spending. I'm like, yes, again, you knew this going in. And so suddenly he's like, goes from like the fun, like manic, let's buy stuff to like the not fun, like somebody's got to tighten the belt here. We got to go. And I'm just like,
I remember years ago in high school, going on like a little mini road trip with my high school friend Caitlin and her mom and dad. They drove us to the outlets in North Georgia, and it was like an hour and a half, 2-hour little road trip, and we were like shopping all day. And then like my friend Caitlin was like, watch, halfway through the day, my dad's gonna turn into like a beast. And so
I don't know why this happened.
And I remember being like, no, Mr. Facette, he's so fun. Absolutely not. Girl, I remember we were in a Barnes and Noble and you could just see the change happen. And he was like, I'll be in the car.
Right.
And he got in the car and did not say a word on the drive back.
He was protecting his peace.
And we were
I don't
like,
know what it is like that. And you're never quite sure when the switch is going to happen. But I'm like, I know now it's going to happen. And then I get frenzied because I'm like, well, I haven't even been to the makeup area yet. I need shampoo. I'm sorry. And then I'm trying to like justify it. I'm like, I need shampoo. Okay. Like I got to wash my hair. It's a necessity. So anyway, yeah, I understand that.
I relate to that a little. I mean, only in IKEA. My fiance Oscar loves IKEA, and it's cute for a second until we get to that bottom, that like downstairs where you actually pick up the stuff that you liked in the models, and then I'm overwhelmed.
It's a lot.
I just feel like everyone kind of reaches their point at some point, you know, and I do it too. I'm fully taking accountability. I do it too with Maya. Because, and we're talking about this, she's getting real bad about the negotiations, which I don't mind her doing the negotiations. I think we just talked about this. Like, I want her to know she can push back and she can ask for what she wants and whatever, but she keeps going. And so I had to, at some point, I think it was at the festival or at the Target, and she kept going. And finally I was like, hey, I am real close. My patience is real thin. And when I do that, then it's like it like clicks and she's like, I'm gonna shut up now.
She's like, I'm sorry.
So all that happened. And then the only other crazy notable thing is that happened literally this morning. And apparently we have rats in our house now, like rats in the walls. So, I'm just, y'all, I am so sick of dealing with this roof.
Mm.
I'm just trying to replace the roof of my house, and I can't. And now because there's so many things that have to happen, and home ownership, yep, great. It's great until you need to do something like this. And then it's not great. And we have holes in the roof because of a raccoon,
Pookie.
and we couldn't we can't just get the roof because we got to take the solar panels off.
Mm.
But so then the roofing people patched the holes, so I'm not continuing to get damage from rain. But I'm guessing the patching is not the most sturdy.
Mm.
So this morning, which y'all, I'm tired today. I don't know. This morning the alarm went off, which I didn't even realize, and I must have hit snooze because by the time I actually did wake up, it was late. It was later than I should have gotten up. So I stumble out of bed and I'm walking to the bathroom when I hear Maya screaming, and she's now in the bedroom and she's hyperventilating, and I'm like, all right. Just what is going on? She says there's rats. I can hear them, but they're not just scratching, they're screaming. I'm like, oh my God. So I go into her bedroom, and sure as shit, there are some screaming ass rats.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty loud.
Oof.
And I'm like, okay. No
and
big
I feel
deal.
like rat screaming is it's real high pitched, isn't it?
It's very high. I have never heard that before. I've
wanna look it up.
heard the pawing and the scratching. And I've heard it before, which is when I knew we had some rats in the house the first time. In the walls, they're in the walls, I'm pretty sure.
Oof.
And it's it sounded like they were being killed, to be honest with you. I was like, are they stuck?
No, man.
It was
Sorry.
that-
The other thing just rat just jumped at the video.
Oh my God. It sounded like they were in pain. Not that. No, this was
I don't like
that
this
was not
at all.
hissing. That was no, stop. There was no hissing. No. It was like and I was just like, what? This, mind you,
I too would scream.
this is just before 5:00 a.m. So
Oof.
I'm just okay, let's
Mm.
I will make a note of this. And so I'm just, y'all, I'm so sick of dealing with this. And so thank you for letting me vent about that. But I'm just trying to replace this God blessed roof. So maybe before hurricane season starts again.
Maybe, hopefully so. Well, they better get them rats out.
But see, that's the thing. So now I got to get the rats out, got to get the solar panels off. Then we got to replace the roof, put the solar panels back on, and somehow make sure that the raccoons and the rats don't attack the new roof. So,
Mhm.
okay, that's
Sounds really
that's
expensive.
the end of my yeah. And as a quick side tangent, then I promise that I'm done. Because of that big hole in the roof that the raccoon did back in
Mhm.
December, and there was a huge deluge of a rainstorm the day that I got back from Orlando. We went to a little Orlando trip, and that day we got back and it was pouring rain, and we didn't even know there was a hole in the roof at that point. But what's happened is that my kitchen ceiling is all brown splotches.
Mm.
We're gonna have to do something about that, which needs to be cut out anyway, because it doesn't matter. It needs to be cut and replaced, something. And I have an upstairs apartment up there with also a kitchen. That kitchen's ceiling is cracked, and the wall where the window in the kitchen is, that's right by where the hole was, and that whole side of the wall is bubbled out. The countertop is also distended because it's wet. I touched it. It's still damp. I'm like, I bet there's
Oh.
mold. I don't know. So if I could just get this roof fucking on, then I can start the also expensive process, I'm sure, of fixing the damage that the water did from when the hole,
Mm.
when the roof was leaking. So anyway, I'm just so okay. So that's fine.
And she's like, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Just sometimes I just want to let it out. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
me too. Mhm.
I had a very helpful, productive weekend. Friday night, didn't do much. We watched Anora, the now Best Picture for this year's Oscars, which was, like I said on the show this morning, if you watch Anora, which it is good, do not watch it with your parents, or because it's deals with sex work. And they're just doing it the first part of the movie
Oh,
a lot.
A lot of
That
sex.
happened to me with 365 DNI. This was during the pandemic,
Mhm.
and I didn't know what this movie was about. It just seemed like a hot guy, and me and my mom were bored. The first scene where he's getting like a BJ by the flight attendant,
Oh,
and like Netflix is very much pushing the limits, where you could see a little bit of the skin of his thing in her
Oh.
mouth, in the corner, in the literal corner.
What
on
movie is
earth?
this?
It's 365 DNI.
I don't even
think
know
I've
what
seen
that
that
is.
before.
365 DNI. Yeah, 365 days. Sorry.
Mm.
I don't know why DNI came out. Just type in 365 days and you'll see that Italian man that is just one of the.
I remember hearing about this movie, but I don't think I
Oh.
ever watched it.
He's like the hottest man I've ever seen.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah, don't watch sex scenes with your parents.
Yeah,
No.
no. So just if you watch Anora, just be careful. That was good. Then Saturday I did a really long Peloton ride, and then after that, it was time to help my friend who I talked about on the radio last week. He moved, just bought a new condo. Super nice condo, but I was like, girl, I'm not helping you move. But thankfully, he hired movers. So they did everything. So by the time I got to his new place, they were bringing stuff in. And so I unpacked his kitchen. So that was really fun because I like organization and like coming up with the system of like, you can do this here, do this there, maybe try this. And he was open to my suggestions. So I felt very productive. And so then after we finished with that, we met up with some friends and did like a little Saturday fun day around South End. It was like super crowded because the soccer game happened on this season opener for the Charlotte FC. And so South End and Uptown was just packed full of people. So we did that, and then we ended up going out for a little bit Saturday. And then Sunday I helped him. I was like, man, I was tipsy when this happened. So his house that he just moved out of, he was renting.
Yeah.
There's a little shed in the back. And about 2 years ago, he had a birthday party for one of our friends back there. And so he spent like 2 weeks cleaning up the backyard because it's like old tree and there was leaves everywhere. And so he put all these leaves in the little leaf bags and put it in this shed. Well, they've been sitting there for 2 years because he just totally forgot. And
oh
so
my God.
the owners were like, hey, so sorry, because they're older. They were like, can you clear this out? And we were like out Saturday when he got that text and he was like, damn it, I totally forgot because I don't go in there for anything. So I was like, I'll help you with that on Sunday.
I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine what.
Didn't I go to that party with you?
Yes, you did. Yeah. Yep, you did.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
So those leaves have just been sitting there in those bags for 2 years.
I can't imagine the smell alone.
So, and like my allergies are already acting up because we are now having like early pollen in Charlotte. And so I was like, oh, this is just not gonna go well. But I said yes. So I was there, but he was laughing at me because I've never done yard work before. Because we always lived in apartments growing up. And then, I had a townhouse. So I've never done yard work. And so I was trying to like give him suggestions. And he was like, girl, just do this part
Just
over
do the
here.
labor.
girl."
Like, why are you giving suggestions when you really don't know what you're talking about?
I was like, listen, I'm here trying to help you work smarter, not harder. So we did some things to help facilitate the process go quicker.
Bless your soul.
But then, girl, as soon as I was done, I was just a sneezing and a coughing. And then we went to the women's professional soccer game after that. So that was fun. So yeah, it was a pretty good weekend, pretty low key. And then after that, I dropped him off. And then I took my little Sunday fun day gummy. And that's all she wrote. But I totally forgot that the Oscars started at 7.
I wanted to double check because I was eating dinner at like 6:30 and I still had to shower, which was a process because I also it was a hair shower. So I'm like, well, what time do the Oscars start? Because I thought maybe they started at 8. And I'm like, but the only reason I truly want to watch the Oscars is for Cynthia and Ariana. And then we looked it up and it was 7. I'm like, thank God we looked because now I got to get on it and pause it because I'm gonna be in the shower still. So we were able to catch all the stuff we wanted to.
Yeah, I had to look it up online because I missed it because it was like 8:00 and I was watching some show and I was like, oh, let me turn over to get to Hulu. And I was like, wait,
7
they were
o'clock.
supposed to be opening it up. So then I had to get online to look at the performance. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good time.
it was nice.
All right. Well, we're done for the day. We'll be back on Wednesday. Kelbin, how can people find you on social media?
At Kelbin Live, TikTok, Twitter, but I really just used Instagram.
Holly O'Connor.
Radio Holly on Instagram, also on Threads and TikTok if you want to catch me there.
Mine is at Miguel Fuller on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and on Peloton.